Yes, sir. My name's Zakashi, guys, and what month is it? It's October, right? So it's spooky season. And we have the reveals and stuff coming up, but just for the sake of it, not even tying directly to the reveals and stuff, I want to hypothetically talk about some nightmare updates. These are updates that could come to Legends, possibly somehow. Unlikely, but it's possible. That would literally just throw the community into hell. Like, everybody would just be thinking, what the hell, man? There's no way the devs actually worked hard day and night, didn't go home to see their kids, thinking, yeah, they're gonna love this one, man. They're really gonna like this one. But we're gonna talk about some nightmare updates in this video. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button, man. Hopefully none of these actually come. Some are worse than others, but again, it's down to you guys to decide which one's the worst. I did a poll and I'll put up just a couple of them on the screen, and I want to talk about some of them here and there. You've seen the thumbnail as well, but I'll put the poll up on the screen just so you can see what it was like. And 5,000 votes, most of them voted the first one, but we'll talk about each one just a tiny bit in this video. If you guys haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We are on this grind to 40,000 subscribers. All my social media links are going to be on the bottom of the screen. It's the YouTube channel, but we've got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. So make sure to check me on all of those. But yeah, I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. Let's actually get into the content of this video now. Now, the first one here is going to be crazy. We're going to be talking about the most voted one on the poll, the 21-star update. Now, you know we had 7 at first, and it only stopped at 7, if I'm correct. Then they released the red stars, and then it went up to 14, and that changed a whole lot in the game, and it made them able to actually balance out the game a bit more. I feel like in the direction that the game is going, this one is actually very, very likely. In the poll, I told people to pick one, so that means the one you pick is probably the most favorable. And in this case, 21 stars does sound bad, but reasonably so. I feel like it's the least dangerous update that we could get. So we had 7. You got your 7 there, and if we look at the stats, you can see the stats are decent for a time in the past. These are actually amazing stats. Then we went up to 14. You can see the increase in the stats and whatnot overall. But then you add 7 more blue stars and you get 21 stars. Now that would increase everybody's stats in the game, and it bring up all the lower players as well, all the lower characters, but it makes them more able to release characters at levels that are more manageable, in my opinion. So if you slot someone somewhere, it makes it much more clear where they belong in comparison to now, where it's kind of like there's barely any difference, especially when they release with the boost. Depending on how they manage it, it could be good. If they do it terribly, we're in the mud, and they're gonna be releasing maintenance after maintenance after maintenance, or saying sorry after sorry after sorry. It's gonna be terrible if they mess this one up when they do it. And I feel like this one, I said when, right, by the way, I feel like this one's actually guaranteed to happen. It's just when, not if, it's when it happens, for them to actually add the blue stars on. The blue stars, 7 more blue stars. Man, that could be the big deal breaker. And one thing I want to point out, I don't have it on me here, but you guys should know that the biggest percentage boost to the character stats, I believe it's at 7. No, it's at 9. I believe it's 9. People say to get your characters to 9 stars because that's where the most important stat upgrade is. Beyond 9 stars, they're just smaller upgrades until you get the Z ability at 14 stars. So 9 is really the big threshold of, alright, cool, your character's good at this point. Going further, I think you'd probably double that, so you'd have to get to 18 stars to get the other big percentage boost. But because we're going from now 14 to 21, we could actually have a lot more bigger stat boost in between there that could change the way characters move. And especially because they do it in percentages, that could actually change a whole lot, especially tied into how characters' kits work. But of course, that's down to the devs. It could be good, it could be bad, but it's down to how they handle it, and it's going to require a lot of precision, this one. So it's quite scary at the same time, but again, I feel like it's the more manageable ones. One of the more manageable ones for the devs. Alright, this is the next one that we have on the poll, and it's going to be LF Ultras. So not just Ultras, not just Legends Limited, but maybe you can even take out the Legends Limited part. It's just simply the fact that Ultra characters should have some fancy finish, not just an ultimate, but they should have like a legendary finish. It doesn't have to label them as Legends Limited characters, but again, they should actually be Legend Limited Ultras, not Legend Limited Sparkings. That's just my opinion. They're so much different in comparison to every other character in the game in terms of they have the opening, so you know, the fancy sketch, the the splash art, whatever you call it. It's the cool opening intro animation is very, very good on the arts card, and then you get that floating scene where they're like moving and breathing. It feels like they're very much alive. Even when you load into a PvP game with them, they have this very specific opening according to who they are, and that makes it very unique. When you use them, you get a fresh experience in comparison to other characters. They just get the normal start and you face up against them, but if you're Ultra, you see the Ultra character start, which is very, very good. Now, something I want to show you is that they put a lot of detail into these Ultras, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I open this up right here, HD asset album, thankfully the space website is actually gives us the asset. So if you press this image here, this little icon here rather, you can see that you see every single individual asset, and you can't save them individually because they come like as massive sprites. This is like every single part that they use to animate it, just to show how much detail they put if you didn't know it beforehand. Literally every part of his leg, arm, hair, aura, everything, it all has to be animated separately, which is why it's split up like this. So then if you thought that it didn't take a lot of time, it really does, because doing this one by one, animators put a lot of work into this. So you have to really respect them for the grind. And that's not even talking about the kits and the animations in game, even though they pretty much use the blast arts for the most part. It's a lot of work, generally speaking, but for what they are, I don't get why they don't have a special finish. If you went through the effort of already having ultimate, a fancy ultimate, they all come with ultimates. Went through the efforts of making them the most OP characters in the game. Went through the effort of having the fancy opening. Went through the effort of making the fancy arts card. You just miss out the finish. So I feel like we're definitely due at Ultra LF. Now on the poll, this is one of the ones people wouldn't want, and I feel like the main reason why people wouldn't want it is because they'd be so broken, it's unbelievable. These are going to be a step up from a regular Ultra, and even a further step up from a Legend Limited Sparking. So if you think about if it's mashed up in both, that's going to be an OP character. Now let's just speak in hypotheticals here. If we was to get this guy here as an Ultra LF, right, which would be lovely. I feel like everybody would be happy about that. Ultra LF right here. Ultimate Aunt, Special Beam Cannon, whatever. He's my wallpaper, so I could have just done this. It was nice. Special Beam Cannon, whatever, that he done. That would be amazing. And you get a specific finish, the way he powered down. And I feel like it's very likely that it's possible. It's very likely simply because they be loving Gohan. I'm not even gonna lie. Gohan, if my memory's correct, he was the first LF in the game. I don't see why they wouldn't make him the first Ultra LF in the game if they was going to do that. But just to think about how OP he would be, if we look at FSK, Father Son Kamehameha Gohan, the red one, the Zenkai 7 one, in his prime, he was one-shotting everybody. And I'm not even just talking about ultimates. A lot of the times it's just blast arts. You're gonna be turned into a burger, bro. Like, you're free food when it comes to Gohan. So if they was to actually take the opportunity right here to actually make this guy goated, bro, and give him that legendary finish, ultra character, legend limited, bro, whatever, bro, I'm taking that, bro. I'm taking that, bro. That's going to be some heat. But hey, I'm just speculating at this point. I just wanted to show the art as well. But of course, it's another Nightmare update because he's gonna be so OP. He should be anyways. That's what's most scary. So if they handle it, then again, it's one of those ones that it could go either way. But just to point out, it could go either way. It could go either way. Just had to bring up the Dokkan Battle website because, yo, Legends fans and Dokkan fans, I don't know why. I be trolling, I'll be real. I personally don't favor Dokkan for good reason why. I want an active game, not a bubble popper. That might be me dissing it, but I don't really care. It's not really a war thing, but I feel like each game has its reasons for why you'd enjoy it over the other. And I want to just point out that it feels like Legends players and Dokkan players are literally always at war over which game is better. Each game has its strong points. Legends be in the mud a lot of the time, I'm not even gonna lie. But for other reasons, I personally favor Legends. But then imagine they added a game mode, yeah. So, we had TOP, everybody thought TOP was gonna be hype. Bro, that's just some whack PvE mode you do for CC. Lots of people don't even play it. Cool, whatever. Full Power Battle, we thought it was gonna be some heat as well. Bruh, that RNG joint, that RNG simulator. It's basically a gambling game mode, bro. Like, you just go in and just hope, for the most part. But then they fixed it over time, so I'll let them slide on that one. But then imagine they just added a new game mode, hyped it up, and it's a bubble popper, bro. Like, just like Dokkan, but then you might not even get the animation. So they just use regular Legends animations, but it's a bubble popper. I don't feel like Legends players would like that, because the reason they're playing Legends is to avoid Dokkan, and now they're playing Dokkan in Legends to get CC. That would be crazy. There will be like literally the tide will turn upside down. Dokkan players would be like, now you're one of us. It's crazy. It'd literally be the same thing, and it's something easy they can implement, because the game Dokkan with the bubble popping mechanic, I need to stop saying that, someone's gonna flog me. It's not a complicated thing to make, in my opinion. On top of the fact that basically I'm pretty sure Bandai do both. Don't fact check me on that, but even if they did, we know that even if they did or didn't, we know that Legend takes inspiration from Dokkan. That's a fact from the start of the game. So it could be something they easily implement. Just a sprinkle of bubble popper in Legends. Again, it's not something everybody would want to see, but of course it's not the most difficult thing to add. So yeah, this one is not so difficult, and a lot of people on the poll tried to avoid the result for this simply because they just said they wouldn't play it. But if we had a Hero Legends Battle Royale, I feel like everybody doesn't even like this game mode anyways. You get a few amount of CCs for it. The rewards were very nerfed. Like, this is just something that you just have to get through, and a lot of people don't play it. Collecting those tickets every single day, having to do them every day. You can wait until the last day, which is what I do. But again, just having to do it is quite tedious. Then on top of that, you have to be specific with the tag. And the way the PvP environment is, it's like if you're not using a top 5 unit, you're just in the mud. And with this one, they had the powerful opponent one first. So pretty much, if you didn't have droids, you were in the mud. Droids were dominating the powerful opponent one. This one, sagas from the movies, if you didn't have Cooler, you're in the mud too. I think some people were using Broly as well. I think Broly was out at the time. My memory's not working too well. But if you didn't have Cooler, pretty much, you're getting swept by Coolers. And that's how it was running. That's not a good game mode if such a dominant character is carrying the whole event. And I feel like with no matter what tag they use, depending on whatever character that they release at that time, and they usually base the Battle Royale off of what unit is dominant at that time, it's going to be like, okay, if you don't have them, you're in the mud. I feel like if Charlotte gets an upgrade, they could drop a Legends Battle Royale for heroes. And that's going to be like, bruh, bro. Because it's not even Charlotte that's going to be the scary one. We're going to have to use 3 heroes in battle. It's Hercule. Hercule is going to be the problem. Let me bring him up on screen. If you don't know who I'm talking about, the world champion, paralyzed god, bro, Hercule, lock-in demon. If you don't know why this guy's a threat, he's a bigger threat than a lot of Sparkings as well. Bigger threat than a lot of Extremes. Bigger threat than maybe Kaioken, the Ultra in this meta. I'm not even joking. Main ability, he inflicts no switching, right? 10 seconds. That's not even the big threat though. That basically guarantees you to die if he locks you in. Cool. Oh, my alarm's going off. The big threat with him is the fact that here, when he switches in, for the first 2 times he switches in, he activates strong poison and 100% chance to inflict paralyze. If you don't know why Hercule's annoying, well now you know. That basically means that it's RNG whether you'd be able to move or not. If the paralyze kicks in, you can't move. That's a free attack for the enemy. And that's really annoying on top of the fact you get locked in. You can't switch out. There's nobody who can save you. You can't use your cover changes. You're just there by yourself. You're left to dry. You're left to die. And this guy would be running the hero battle royale. Every single person would use him. On top of the fact that heroes are just so accessible that if you don't have all of them, which everybody does, there's no new heroes that are like hard to get. They're not like EXs. It just means that everybody's going to have everybody and you just need to pick who you want to pick. So the big 3 that people will pretty much be using, Charlotte, Hercule, and people will run Nail. Now the only reason why I think people will run Nail is because of his Z ability. His Z ability is really good. 100% strike attack to hero. That would just be a mess of a game mode. People wouldn't want to play it, and a lot of people just won't play it to avoid it. Just keeping it a stat. Now this one I'm just throwing in as a bonus just to get under people's skin. The video is probably a bit long, but just to throw it in as a bonus. So you see summoning, right? No matter what banner you summon on, except weekend and a few exceptions and whatnot. For the main part, it's consistent that summoning, the value of summoning, it costs 1,000 Chrono Crystals. If it's a regular banner or not, it's going to cost you 1,000 Chrono Crystals. I'm just trying to bring up a regular banner, like a step up here. Cool. So we take the All-Star banner. You know it costs 1,000 Chrono Crystals every mode. You get your discount, and you even get guaranteed one, which is good with the All-Stars. the Ultras here, you get a guaranteed 1 to 1,000 for the most part. Cool. And then you have these ones here with the steps. You don't get a guaranteed, but there's cheaper steps and you get coins as well for the pity. If they raise the prices of one summon, singular summons, if they raise the prices, everybody will riot. Imagine summoning more than, for 10 characters, you're summoning more than 1,000 Chrono Crystals. For 10 characters, you're paying more than 1,000 Chrono Crystals. Just think about that for a second. On top of how much Chrono Crystals they give out every month, it's been on the decrease. Bro, what? Nah, okay, that's done. That's done. I don't need to say anything more. That point's done. But yeah, man, that's it for the Nightmare updates. Let me know what you guys thought about them. Which one was the worst one in your opinion? People had mixed opinions. Which one was the best one? Which one would you like the most? If you had to pick one, say it's a hypothetical, you have to pick one. Hopefully Legends doesn't disappoint with what they're releasing. We just have to hope that it's actually something good and hype. The reveal shouldn't be for nothing. They've been gassing it up on Twitter, so yeah. Tune into the reveals. I'll be streaming tomorrow or Tuesday, depending on when I upload this. I don't know. I'll be streaming the reveals and stuff, so make sure to tap in. We will have to see whether it's going to be something valuable or just some trash. Hopefully it's something heat, and they'll probably be announcing a character. Let me know what you guys have to think with this video. Let me know what you think about the reveals as well, now that I've mentioned that. I'll be streaming at 3 p.m. GMT. I'll probably be live an hour before or 2 hours before, just so you can chill out and whatnot. We be vibing. Press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 40,000 subscribers. All my social media links are going to be on the bottom of the screen. This is the YouTube channel, but we've got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link, all in the description below. So make sure to check me out on all of those. I'm not going to hold you guys up anymore. This video has been a good time for me at least, so I hope you guys have also enjoyed the video. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, man.